Boron is a trace mineral that I've heard a number of guys notice that it increases their frequency of morning wood. They've seen changes in their blood work indicating increases in testosterone. And for some guys, it can even cause painfully hard erections. So in today's video, what we'll do is explore the benefits of boron supplementation in greater detail. So what is boron? Boron is a trace element found naturally in various foods and available as a dietary supplement. It plays a crucial role in plant biology, being an integral part of plant cell walls and necessary for growth, pollination, and seed development. While boron is not classified as an essential nutrient for humans due to the absence of a clearly defined biological function, it may still offer potential benefits. Research suggests that boron might positively influence several physiological processes, including reproductive health, calcium metabolism, bone formation, cognitive function, insulin and energy metabolism, immune response, and the regulation of steroid hormones, such as vitamin D and estrogen. So what makes boron so interesting? Boron is particularly interesting as a supplement due to its potential health benefits, its role in various physiological processes, and its unique characteristics that differentiate it from other nutrients. So what is the evolution of boron? Well, the history of boron is a story of scientific discovery and technological advancement that has begun in the 19th or the early 19th century. Although the element of boron was known in compounds like boric acid, it wasn't isolated until 1808. Sir Humphrey Davy and Joseph Louis Gay Lussac made early contributions by identifying boron in boric acid, and they did not manage to isolate it as a pure element. So the role of boron in human nutrition was not well understood until the late 20th century, and early research primarily focused on its essentiality for plant growth and soil health. In the 1980s, studies began to suggest that boron might play a role in human health as well. Then these studies indicated that boron might be involved in bone health, hormone regulation, and cognitive function, but the evidence was preliminary. Interest in boron as a dietary supplement started to grow in the 1990s. Research suggested that boron might have beneficial effects on bone density, particularly in post-menopausal women and individuals with osteoporosis. Now, boron was also noted for its potential role in supporting joint health and enhancing cognitive function. As a result, boron supplements began to be marketed for those particular purposes. Now today, boron supplements are commonly available and are often used for various health claims, including improved bone strength, joint health, hormonal balance. Now, ongoing research continues to explore boron supplementation with the hope of clarifying its role in human health and guiding future recommendations. So what does the research actually suggest? Now, research into boron as a supplement is ongoing, and while findings are not yet definitive, several areas have garnered attention. Here's a summary of what current research suggests about boron supplementation. Bone health. Research indicates that boron may play a role in supporting bone health. Studies suggest that boron can influence the metabolism of key minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and phosphorus, which are critical for bone formation and maintenance. Some evidence suggests that boron supplementation may help improve bone density and reduce the risk of osteoporosis, particularly in postmenopausal women. However, more large-scale and long-term studies are needed to confirm these effects definitively. What about hormonal regulation? Boron may affect hormone levels, particularly estrogen and testosterone. Some studies have shown that boron supplementation might improve hormone balance, potentially benefiting conditions related to hormone imbalances such as menopause and testosterone deficiency. Research has indicated that boron can enhance levels of free testosterone and influence estrogen levels, which might have implications for bone health and muscle mass. Again, more research is needed to fully understand these effects. How does boron impact cognitive function? There is emerging evidence suggesting that boron could have a positive impact on cognitive function. Some studies have linked boron supplementation to improvements in attention, memory, and overall cognitive performance. Finding that boron supplementation could improve cognitive performance and hand-eye coordination. However, this area of research is still in its early stages, and more studies are required to establish these effects firmly. What about how boron can exert anti-inflammatory effects? Boron has been noted for its potential anti-inflammatory properties. Research has suggested that boron might reduce inflammation markers and help with conditions like arthritis. For instance, a study in inflammation research highlighted that boron supplementation could lower levels of inflammatory markers in the body, potentially offering benefits for inflammatory conditions. Nevertheless, further research is necessary to confirm these findings and understand the mechanisms involved. How does boron impact metabolism and nutrient utilization? Boron may influence the metabolism of various nutrients, including vitamin D. Since vitamin D is crucial for calcium absorption and bone health, boron's effect on vitamin D metabolism could be significant. Some research suggests that boron supplementation may enhance the efficacy of vitamin D and influence calcium and magnesium utilization. This connection could make boron a valuable supplement for improving overall nutrient balance and bone health. Now, what about safety and dosages? Boron is generally considered safe when taken at recommended dosages, typically ranging from 1 to 3 milligrams per day. Research indicates that excessive intake can lead to toxicity, with symptoms like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. Thus, adhering to recommended dosages and consulting healthcare providers is crucial when considering boron supplementation. While research into boron supplementation shows promise in several areas, including bone health, hormone regulation, cognitive function, and inflammation, the evidence is not yet conclusive. Many studies are preliminary, and more extensive long-term research is needed to confirm the benefits and understand the mechanisms of boron supplementation. Now, this study here was titled, "There's Nothing Boring About Boron." What is the impact on free testosterone and sex hormone binding globulin? Boron has a range of important roles in biochemistry and nutrition. An acute dose of 11.6 milligrams of boron was found to significantly raise plasma boron levels. This quick absorption led researchers to investigate whether different patterns of acute supplementation done hourly, daily, or weekly might have notable effects on steroid hormones and inflammatory biomarkers. In the study, 8 healthy male volunteers participated in 3 separate laboratory visits. On day 0, they provided a blood sample at 8 a.m. and then took a placebo with their breakfast. On day 1, they followed the same procedure but consumed a capsule containing 10 milligrams of boron instead. Blood samples were collected every 2 hours for 6 hours on both days. Participants were instructed to take a 10 milligram boron capsule daily with breakfast for the following week. On day 7, blood was collected again at 8 a.m. Results showed that plasma boron levels increased significantly with both hourly and weekly supplementation. After 6 hours of supplementation, there was a notable decrease in sex hormone binding globulin, high sensitivity C reactive protein, and tumor necrosis factor levels. After 1 week, plasma-free testosterone levels were significantly higher while estradiol levels decreased. Additionally, dihydrotestosterone, cortisol, and vitamin D levels increased, and all 3 inflammatory biomarkers showed a reduction following the supplementation period. This next study here was titled "Comparative Effects of Daily and Weekly Boron Supplementation on Plasma Steroid Hormones and Pro-Inflammatory Cytokines." So what about for arthritis? How can boron specifically benefit arthritis? Since 1963, accumulating evidence has suggested that boron may be a safe and effective treatment for certain types of arthritis. Initial reports indicated that boron supplementation helped alleviate arthritic pain and discomfort. This early evidence was subsequently supported by a range of observations, including epidemiological studies and controlled experiments in both animals and humans. These findings included analytical evidence showing reduced boron concentrations in the femur heads, bones, and synovial fluid of individuals with arthritis compared to those without the condition, and observational evidence indicating that bones from patients taking boron supplements are significantly harder to cut than those from patients who do not use these supplements. Epidemiological evidence revealed that in regions where boron intake is typically 1 milligram or less per day, the estimated incidence of arthritis ranges from 20% to 70%. In contrast, in areas where boron intake is usually between 3 and 10 milligrams per day, the estimated incidence of arthritis ranges from 0% to 10%. Additionally, experimental studies demonstrated that rats with induced arthritis showed improvement when boron was administered either orally or intraperitoneally. experimental evidence from a double-blind, placebo-controlled trial involving 20 subjects with osteoarthritis demonstrated a significant positive response to a daily supplement of 6 milligrams of boron. 50% of those receiving the boron supplement showed improvement compared to only 10% of those who received a placebo. These results suggest that boron may be an essential nutrient for maintaining healthy bones and joints, and further research into its potential for treating or preventing arthritis is warranted. This study here was titled Essentiality of Boron for Healthy Bones and Joints, and it was published in 1994. What about how boron can specifically impact brain function? Research on the benefits of boron for the central nervous system is less extensive compared to the studies demonstrating its positive effects on bone health. However, the existing studies still strongly support the idea that boron is a valuable bioactive element for human health. Under controlled dietary conditions, supplementing with boron after a period of deficiency has been shown to enhance brain function. This includes improvements in electroencephalogram EEG patterns, which indicate better behavior activation, such as reduced drowsiness and increased mental alertness. Additionally, boron supplementation has been associated with better psychomotor skills, including faster motor speed and greater dexterity, as well as improved cognitive processes like attention and short-term memory, particularly in older adults. Animal studies also support the notion that boron contributes positively to brain function. And this study here was titled Growing Evidence for Human Health Benefits of Boron. Now, what are the known potential side effects associated with boron supplementation? Now, a number of guys have done blood work and they've asked themselves whether or not does boron actually exert an effect on estrogen, SHBG, or testosterone? Now, some guys have noted increases in estrogen or estradiol. Other guys have not noticed any change. Some guys have seen increases in total testosterone and free testosterone. So it ultimately depends on the dosages that you're using, how long you're using it for, and also some other synergistic nutrients. In general, for the recommended dosages, for general health, typically dosages range from 1 to 3 milligrams per day, and this amount is considered safe and is often used to support bone health and cognitive function. Now, for specific health conditions, some studies have used higher dosages ranging from 6 to 10 milligrams per day, particularly for conditions like arthritis or osteoporosis. Now, the tolerable upper limit for boron is not well established, but is generally advised to avoid exceeding 20 milligrams per day to prevent potential toxicity. So what do people say about boron? Now, Jonas Kuhn, MD, dives into boron with the intent to answer if it lives up to all the hype it has been receiving. He states that today we are getting significantly less boron through our diet, as it's less prominent in soil due to over-farming. He mentions that when he takes supplemental form of boron, it does have quite a bit of bioavailability in humans. And he states that boron can be beneficial for free testosterone, as it could increase it by up to 40%, while simultaneously lowering estradiol, believing there isn't any significant drawbacks for those looking to optimize hormone levels. So in summary, we can see that boron can be beneficial for a variety of conditions in the human body, such as optimizing testosterone and also the absorption of vitamin D and magnesium. And while some of its more notable benefits being that it can benefit bone health as well as help with the arthritis and osteoporosis conditions, improving cognitive function, and also increase free testosterone. So when taken in the recommended dosages, boron does appear to be safe. And by doing this, it will prevent the likelihood of negative side effects and potential toxicity. So if you have used boron in supplemental form, drop a comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. Please like this video if you learned something new, and subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with the latest and greatest health research.